sing, 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 yeah, yeah. So today is the day that I'm going to take my next step into learning Burmese. I've been trying to learn Burmese for a couple of months now, due to the fact that I want to learn Burmese in reading, speaking, writing. And I want to learn how to read, write, and speak Burmese so I can use it for work, since I want to communicate properly with every person that I talk to at work. And since I am able to do that in English and Spanish, I thought that the next language that I should learn is Burmese. And so I already started a couple of months ago with Burmese. I started in February of this year. And these are some of the things that I did in the beginning. So I have this notebook that is specifically for Burmese. And these are a couple of notes that I have that I started with Burmese. So I have the consonants of Burmese, and I also wrote down how to pronounce each consonant. And so that's what I had. And I also had this chart that I was starting. I already started filling the first, second, and third line of this chart. And my plan was to memorize each line. So this first line has 6 consonants, and then the next one has 7 consonants. So I was planning on memorizing each line with the consonants that go with that line, and then I was going to complete it, obviously. But I only got to the 3rd line. And so I have all these pages filled with the same thing, with the consonants. And my method at the time was to repeat writing it. So that was my method at first. It was just to write each consonant, writing it multiple times. So for the first consonant, I would write it again and again 50 times, and then the next consonant, write it 50 times again, and like that. That was my method at first. I don't think it went the way that I thought it was going to go. So the next step I took from that, since I realized that didn't work, is, let me take it out. I did some flashcards, I guess you could call them. I got a sheet of paper and I just ripped them in small pieces of paper. And on one side I drew the consonant, and on the other side I wrote the pronunciation of it. And I used this a couple of times. And it did work at first, and I thought this was going to be the way that I was going to be able to remember the consonants. But then somehow I forgot them along the way, and it didn't work anymore. So now this is my 3rd step that I'm taking to learn Burmese. And that next step is going to be to take a Burmese class. And so I already paid for a Burmese class where I'm going to have a native Burmese speaker that is going to be my instructor. And today is my first day in taking that class. So I'm really nervous for this because my previous attempts of learning Burmese were not so effective, and so I'm hoping that taking this class will make me be more productive and move forward into learning Burmese properly. So I'm gonna do it now. Whew. Okay.
changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. Yeah, you ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top.
Okay, I'm ready.
My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan.
In this lesson, we're going to learn how to pronounce the 33 consonants in the Myanmar language. We're going to learn most of them in pairs because in most cases, there are two letters that are pronounced very similarly, if not identically. For instance, here are the first two letters we're going to learn.
Okay. Okay.
You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy, anxiety's no friend to me. I have a short memory, I don't really remember things. That's how I move on, that's how I stay strong. A new day's on, I'll keep moving right along.
Now the first one is pronounced like the letter K in the word ask. Ka. The next letter is very similar. This letter is pronounced like the letter K in the word kite. Ka. Ka. Can you hear the difference? The difference is that this second letter is pronounced with something called aspiration. So here's a trick that has helped some with aspiration. Hold the open palm of your hand 3 or 4 inches directly in front of your mouth and say the word ask followed by the word kite and pronounce them very clearly. When you say that second word, you should be able to feel the stronger burst of air hitting your palm when you pronounce the K sound. Well, that air leaving your mouth is what makes the letter aspirated. Now, aspiration is an important technique to learn. You need to understand how to use it because it's going to be used with a number of letters.
Ask. Ask. Kite. Ask. Kite.
And I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay in the past. You gotta take off the cast. I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose. And I feel like the pain shouldn't last. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. I've done it before, and man, I'm not perfect. I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again.
The first letter sounds like the letters NG at the end of the word sing. Nga, nga. This is the most difficult letter for English speakers to learn how to pronounce. I think that's because there are no words in the English language I can think of that start with this sound. But you will find it pretty often in the Myanmar language. Now let's look at the next letter. This letter sounds like the NY sound in the middle of words like onion and canyon. Nya, nya. Okay, we now move on to the next row. This first letter makes the Y sound, as in the word you. Ya, ya, ya. The second letter also makes a Y sound, usually, but sometimes it's used to make the sound of the letter R, as in the word rest. Ra, ra. I've heard the Y sound pronounced with an added Z sound. So it sounds something like ja, ja, ja.
Zero. Za. Zero. Za. Zero. Za. Za.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, the losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
Canyon. Yeah.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
losing my mind.
Yeah.
Is everybody in the world
Yeah.
blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign.
And there are only 3 more letters to learn. The first letter is simply pronounced like the letter H in hat. And I like this letter because I get to say ha, ha. Now this second letter makes the same sound as the letter directly above it. La, la, la.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh,
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Ta.
Please, Lord,
Ta.
give me a sign,
Ta.
a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back
Down.
the curtain and
Da.
you'll see the different
Da.
vermin. We
Da.
all have different burdens
Da.
that all seem
Da.
to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give, don't ask questions, shut your lid.
And that brings us to our last letter. We'll pronounce this letter like the letter A in the word father, but with a shortened A sound. Ah, ah, ah. I know this sounds more like a vowel, but traditionally, it's included on the list of consonants. And unlike vowels, it can stand alone. One more thing. As if 33 consonants were not enough, there are 2 more characters you're going to run across. Here's the first letter, Now this second letter is
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. Damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great. I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. Damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Catch me if I fall. I'm falling fast, sitting here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall.
Okay, now we're really finished, I promise. Congratulations, you've reached the end of the alphabet lesson. Time to move on.
Whew. Okay, so I completed my class, and that was the first one that I'll be doing today to start off this new chapter of learning Burmese. This is going to be a new method that I'm going to take on and do. Hopefully, by taking these lessons or this Burmese class, that I'll be able to move forward in this process of learning Burmese. Because my goal is to learn Burmese in February of 2024. Since I started learning Burmese in February 2023, I want to make it a goal for me to know Burmese by February 2024. So I have a year to learn Burmese, and I hope this is a good step for me to learn. So my thoughts on this lesson. Okay, so I'm taking this Burmese class, and I am taking it with a native speaker, but apparently these classes are tailored to English speakers. So in this class, I'll be learning like the Myanmar alphabet, Myanmar tones, and then there's a lot of lessons on vowels. And what else? A lot of lessons in vowels. There is about 25 lessons on the Burmese vowels. And then we have special symbols. And there's about 4 lessons for some special symbols. And then we go into the voice consonants, stacked consonants, which I don't know what that means, but eventually I'll know when I get there. But right now I am on the Myanmar alphabet. And so what I plan on doing is going over the notes that I took while I was taking the class. So I'll look at my notes, review that, review how to pronounce the consonants, and I'll do that a couple times until I feel comfortable, and then I'll move on to the Myanmar tones. So I don't know how long that's going to take me, but I'm going to try my best to learn the Myanmar consonants by 2 weeks at least. If I learn it before that, then great, but at least I'll give myself 2 weeks. I do see here that the instructor left resources. So the resources here are flashcards. What else is there? Let me see. Oh, I see there's a vocal bookmark as well. Okay, I'll download that later. But for now, I'm gonna focus on the notes I took for this lesson. Oh man. Okay. I don't know why, but before I started taking this class, I don't know why in my head, I pictured it being very easy. Not easy. What I realized during the lesson is that half of the time I did not understand what the instructor was talking about. I did understand. It's just that I was confused a lot by the term that the instructor uses, aspiration of words. That was a bit confusing since in English and Spanish we do not use anything related to aspiration. So I think saying the words that are aspirated, I think that's going to be the hard part for me. But everything else, I think I was able to say it correctly. Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but I don't know. But in my head, I think I'm saying it right. But we'll see. I'll continue on practicing these notes, and I'm going to continue to practice my aspiration, the aspirating the words that are supposed to be aspirated. Since the instructor did say that it's common for words to be aspirated, so that is something that I should master and know how to do. So I'll focus on learning how to aspirate words before I move on to the next lesson. So after I finish this class, so this class has about, let me see, has about 36 lessons. So after I finish these 36 lessons, I'll see what is my next step for learning Burmese. For now, I'm going to stay with this and continue on. I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish these 36 lessons. But once I finish these 36 lessons, I'll come back here and talk about my improvement, talk about where I am, talk about what I've learned, talk about what I know now. But for now, this is all that I know and that I'm doing. But after 36 lessons, I'll come back. For now, I'll leave it here. Hope this was encouraging to you to step out and learn something new. Learning another language is definitely something that is hard to do, but whatever you learn next doesn't have to be as hard as learning a language. It could be. If learning a language is something that you want to do, then do it. But your next thing doesn't have to be something as hard as learning a language. It could be anything. So I hope you take this time to learn something new and take the steps to learn it. Like I had to take the step in paying for this course to learn Burmese, and that was the step that I knew that I had to take so that I can continue. And so I'm so excited to be in this journey of learning Burmese. I can't wait for the moment that I know how to read, write, and speak Burmese. I can't wait. I can't wait for the moment that I could sing a song in Burmese and understand what they're saying, and also read it and sing the song. That is my goal. My goal is to be able to sing a song in Burmese. I found a beautiful song that is in the Burmese language that I would like to sing and be able to pronounce correctly, like pronounce the words correctly, and to be able to understand what the singer is talking about. So that's my goal. Hopefully I'll be able to show you that, be able to show you that I'm able to read the lyrics of a Burmese song, be able to pronounce the words right, and to understand what the song is about. I hope I'm able to show you that. So that's it. I am done for today. Whew. I got this. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Okay. I'll be closing out now.